Well, hello there, and welcome back. This is episode 8 of my Minecraft 1.14 Let's Play series. I'm here in my villager trading center. I've had a little bit of an incident here. These used to have villagers in them, and they got turned into zombies, and then they despawned. And part of that reason for that is because there were some spots back here. I have covered them with torches now, but because I hadn't finished the building, there were spots that were spawnable. Even though the building was designed to have no spawnable blocks, I created them by not having a complete building. And now that we got this nice fancy building over here, I think it's time to finish this one up. Didn't take me too long to set all this up. I had all the materials just sitting right here. But I gotta be honest, I'm feeling a little uninspired by this build. I've done designs like this in the past, and I feel like I really didn't reach outside of my comfort zone enough on this build, and it's just a little bit boring. I mean, it looks fine, but it's just kind of boring. Like, compared to a building like that, which I think looks really, really nice, this one just looks meh. It's also much different, much wider than this other build, which is fine. That's not really an issue. I did have some mob proofing failures. I set up this roof to be mod proof, and it was not at all mod proof. Let's go up here. So I ended up setting up these end rods just as a temporary fix. I think I need to come back and I need to go and collect a bunch of red wool, and place some red wool across all this, because I don't think the end rods look that great from below. And we'll see how the red wool looks, because I don't really want to change the light pattern. Also, I'm entirely out of sea lanterns, which is another problem I had over here. I didn't plan for lighting on the side of the building for some reason. I guess I figured I'd just light the ground around it, which I don't know. But the wall looked kind of bare anyway, so I figured I'd light it. But I don't have any sea lanterns for this trip. There's nothing spawnable up here because these are stairs, but it just would look a lot better if there were sea lanterns on both levels instead of just the one level. So it's covered. It's not spawnable right now. I'm going to leave it like this for now. Maybe once we get a couple more buildings in, I'll get a feel for the style I'm going for and redesign it. But for now, this'll work. I'm having a bit of a redstone crisis, so much so that I'm coming here to grab what little redstone is available from my mob farm here, just like little less than 4 stacks, but I think that plus the observers and pistons I have pre-built is enough to get a witch farm started. So here I am at the witch hut that I found some time ago, and I've identified the spawning layers where witches will spawn, and I'm going to use one of Ilmango's designs. He's pretty much the king of witch farms, and he's got a newer design for 1.14, and I'm going to use a hybrid of that in one of his older farms that uses mob cramming to kill the actual witches, because I don't want to have to dig a big perimeter, and the mob cramming one slows down the farm just a tiny bit. But it just means that I just need to make sure that there's no spawnable blocks in the immediate area and not just a huge radius for spawn proofing, just a small one. So let's build that. I've got the farm all built and I've been AFK for a few hours. It's a pretty decent haul. Not the fastest farm in the world. There's definitely a bunch of junk items that I do not want and I've been throwing out as I go. And now I need to figure out a storage solution for this. I've got this pipe that comes down from underneath the farm and I want to take it all the way up. My AFK spot's up there and I want to put it right next to that so I can grab the items immediately after an AFK session. I got the pipe built. It goes all the way up to my AFK spot there. It took quite a lot to build, and there's quite a bit of scaffolding around it. I thought it might be fun to break that on camera. This is the way I used to get up to my AFK spot. It's raining scaffolding. And then this over here, as you can see, I had to go around a bunch of times, so there's 3 different points where it meets the ground. So hopefully this works fairly well. Let's go ahead and break that one. That doesn't really do anything. That one, ooh, yep, and one more, and there we go. That is fun. I've got a storage solution all settled here. It's very similar in design to what I did in the tree farm. The big difference is that there is actually a sorting system back here. So these first 2 rows are all redstone. These second 2 rows are all glowstone. And then this 3rd row is spider eyes, which that is probably already more spider eyes than I'll ever need ever. But, you know, I wanted to save at least some of them. And there's no reason to put them into shulker boxes. I could probably just grab 2 stacks at a time and have plenty for a long time to come. You can see, you saw in the background some items were falling off the edge and they are falling into the lava. So you can see the pipe that comes all the way from way down there, comes all the way up here, comes around, and then goes across these sorting systems. And then anything that doesn't get sorted, and that includes gunpowder, gets kicked off into this lava right here. I just don't need the gunpowder. It doesn't come fast enough. My mob farm creates it much faster. I definitely want to save the redstone and the glowstone. And like I said, the spider eyes, that'll be pretty useful. But everything else just gets kicked off. I don't need bottles. I don't need sticks. I don't need any of that nonsense. This is what I really need right here. And this is going to be pretty useful as well. But this is after several hours of AFKing, so it's probably going to take me, when you consider that this is barely just 2 stacks of redstone blocks. Each row is a stack of redstone blocks, and I had 3 stacks of redstone blocks at some point in this game, and they are gone now. So this is not going to last me very long. It's probably going to take me several overnights. I imagine I can probably get 2 to 3 shulker boxes per overnight. So it'll be a while before I actually have a super comfortable amount of redstone. Glowstone, on the other hand, I'm probably already fairly comfortable. But this is going to take me a while before I have an amount that I'm really, really happy with. But it's a good start, and I needed this, and this will help a ton with my future builds, and I've got all this set up. One other thing I want to mention about this is I've got a nether portal here, and there is another nether portal down there. And there used to be one, you can actually see the hole in the ground, just kind of right where my crosshairs is. That's where the original nether portal was. And this sinks to the same place as the nether. But I can't come into here. So this is the way I'll come in to go to my witch farm. And it'll come to the lower nether portal because that one's below Y128. So you can see we're now below. And then we're at 126. And then there's a water elevator sends me right on up. My AFK spot is right over here. I AFK for a while. I go and grab whatever items I want, and then I go back through this nether portal to get back into the regular world. Although, probably most often I will just fly off. It's actually not that far in that direction to get to my floating island, but it's still nice to have the nether portal in case I need it. So that's a fun way to set up nether portals so that I don't have to start at the ground level. I start at 128, I come back up, and then I don't even have to need to go back down. I can just jump in the nether portal and I'm good. Alright, so I've done an overnight here, and this is probably cumulatively about 16 hours of AFK, which has gotten me just over 2 shulker boxes full of items. So it's probably about 1 shulker box per 8 hours. So that's not too bad, but not super fast. Again, it's going to take a while before I'm super comfortable, but that is 6 stacks of redstone blocks, so that'll last me at least a little while. And then my next project actually doesn't require much redstone at all, so we don't need to worry about that too much. My next project starts right here, and it's probably not going to be done this episode, but I can at least get the groundwork laid down and get it started. As you can see, I got it cleared out already. I actually did this quite some time ago off camera. I was originally going to use Cub Fan's design that involves just putting soul sand down on the floor and not necessarily clearing out all the water up above. But I don't think I'm going to be happy with the rates now that I've tested it a little bit. And I'm going to go instead with one of Iskall85's designs. And I think that one's going to work a little better, but it is going to require that I remove all the water from all this dripping has got to stop. And that's going to be a challenge, but fortunately we can use flying machines with a lot of sand. One of Ilmango's designs that I'll show in just a little bit, but we got to go collect all that sand first. So I need 41 shulker shells full of sand in order to fill the ocean monument. So this is just a start right here. I got a bunch of shulker shells right here and more chests. And then of course I don't want to have to keep going back to repair my shovels, so I might have gotten a little bit carried away. Although to be true, I need at least half of these, I'm pretty sure. So I only got a little bit carried away. But it's kind of cool to see just a shulker box full of Efficiency 5 Unbreaking 3 Silk Touch Mending shovels. But I've definitely got my work cut out for me. That is a serious lot of sand right there. This is exactly 41 shulker boxes full of sand. Took me somewhere between 3 and 4 hours to do it, which actually isn't that bad because I actually get all of this back. There will be some minor losses, but I should still have at least 40 shulker boxes worth of sand when all is said and done, which I will actually use all of that, so that's kind of cool. I miscalculated on the shovels a little bit. You actually get 3 shulker boxes per shovel, and I thought it was 2, so I thought I'd be using like 21 shovels, and I ended up using just past 13, and I lost 2 shovels because I wasn't paying attention. So here's the machine all set up. I got my AFK spot down here. I got all my sand coming into hoppers, coming into a dropper. It'll spit it out into me, and then I'll sit there and place blocks. The blocks will go this way, they'll fill down, and as soon as they reach the end, it'll push it, and then as soon as they reach, and then every time it gets to the end, it's going to send these flying machines off, and they have sticky pistons, so they'll grab the top layer of sand and drag it across. And I do not know how long this will take, but it's going to take a while, and I'm going to have to keep a close eye on it. I don't want anything to go wrong. And one extra consideration that I had to have is that seagrass will break sand. So I had to go down there. I used invisibility potions and night vision potions to go down there and remove all the seagrass from on top of there. Then break some line of sight from these guys. That's something that has to happen now. Otherwise, you'll have huge swaths that nothing happens, and then you lose all the sand. There might be 1 or 2 that I missed. I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out, and then we'll just deal with that as it comes. It's another reason I want to look out for that and then any that reaches the end just goes right back into this hopper chain. So I come down in here and I block it all off so that I'm safe. I turn the thing on. It should start dispensing sand to me. And then I just hold the button down. And that's all I got to do. So this is going to take a long while. I filled an ocean monument the long way once. It was an unpleasant experience, to say the least. I was running a server at the time, and it wasn't long after the ocean monuments were added. And so we tried doing the sponge method first, and it was really slow process, and we kept losing sponges. And so we eventually just decided that we were going to do it with sand. And it took a total of something around 18 hours of just placing sand over and over again, and I died a lot because you get into death spirals. I mean, guardians are relentless and they are very deadly, and then you die once and then you lose your stuff and you got to go get your stuff and you don't have any armor and they kill you again. I promised myself after doing that I never do that again. And I promised the server people that if we did a reset, that I would just use a fill command to get rid of the water in an ocean monument, because that was a horrible experience. Thank God for Ilmango for coming up with this method. I know this was based on the work of several people who came up with this all together. I'll post a link in the description of of Ilmanga's video. This obviously still works. He did this back in 1.11, right when observers were first introduced. So, very cool method. I'm very glad that this exists. So I ran this thing overnight and it stopped on me. At some point it froze up, and so this area isn't covered yet, and slightly less over on this side. And all the items got dispensed in my inventory. My inventory is full of sand, and then after that they just despawned. So I'm all out of sand. I do have 5 or so shulker boxes of sand back at my base. I don't know if that's quite going to be enough. It is probably going to be faster to just do the rest of this manually. I don't know. Some of this is actually some of the deeper sections, so I don't know what happened. It just like froze up for some reason. Two of the flying machines over here are like just, oh yeah, see, they got stuck on, they can't fly any further past all this dirt, sand. I don't know what happened. Looks like this got pushed off again. Maybe I can fix it. I don't know. It seems like it would take a while to fix it. I might just try and put the sand on. But either way, I think that's where I'm going to end the episode. It's a slightly shorter episode than normal, but we did get a lot accomplished. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.